Hello teacher, hello my partners, my name is Brayan, Alexis, Castillo, Hernández. I present my final project for the English class, and I talk about with three components more common in the electronic, and there is the resistance, the capacitors, inductors or coils. My first component is the resistance. The function of the resistance is opposes of the current, and this generate a voltage difference in the terminal of the resistance. Um, Other types of the resistance is the thermistor, the varistor or VDR, the LDR or phototransistor, and the potentiometer. Uh, One example of the component in this case of the potentiometer, you take and rotate the potentiometer, uh, increasing or decreasing the resistance of the component. The LDR or phototransistor, if you put in the sunlight, the resistance of the component increasing or decreasing depending of the sunlight. The take the component, and the VDR on thermistor is more using in the industries for a sensor of temperature, because if you take a thermistor and increasing the temperature of the component, the resistance increasing or decreasing depending on the temperature if you apply it in the thermistor. The color code is a form to identify the value of the component. In this case, the first and second band are the two and second value of the resistance. The third band is a multiplicator band, and for example, brown, red, and orange equals to 12,000 ohms, and the fourth band is a tolerance band, if equals to silver to 10% tolerance. Other type of the components more common in the electronics is inductor. The function of the inductor is generate a electromagnetic camp. The most common is the R-hound inductor, or the variable inductor is more using in the traditional TVs or traditional radios. The symbol of the component is this. Other component of the basic electronic is capacitors. The capacitors is if you connect to power supply, the capacitor charging with a electric charge. And other types of the capacitors is paper or polystyrene, a bipolar, or other example is a ceramic and electrolytic. The most common type of these components is electrolytic and the ceramic components. It's the more common capacitors. The form of identify the value of the of the of the capacitor is this. In case of the polyester ceramic, because in this case of the electrolytic or bipolar, the value of the capacitor is impressing in the component. But in in these types of the capacitors, the code is impressed because in one code, for example 2A equals to 100 volts, and the tolerance is J is 5% tolerance. The value of this is the 104 is equals to the color band, the first value, the second value, and the multiplicator value. For example, is 100 picofarads. The measuring unit of this component is a farad. And this is my presentation. For my three components, is the more common in the electronics.